New York's legal marijuana industry reaches a new high with over 100 licensed pot shops raking in the green. Man, if this isn't a puff piece, I don't know what is, you guys. New York's legal cannabis industry hit a new high this week with more than 100 licensed pot shops now open across the Empire State, officials said on Thursday. Of the 103 marijuana sellers in business, 44 are located in New York City. 19 other licensed weed operators will open shortly, and 35 other retail licenses were approved by the State Cannabis Control Board on Thursday. In quotes, "We haven't even tipped the iceberg yet," CCB Chairman Tremaine Wright said during Thursday's public meeting. Legal marijuana sales from cannabis shops jumped 32% in the first 3 months of 2024 to 85 million from 62 million during the first quarter of 2023, reported John Kagan, the State Office of Cannabis Management's policy director, said. The number of cannabis stores opening has dramatically picked up the last few months, but the state regulators admitted that the large illicit weed market is still a big problem and hope that Governor Kathy Hochul and Albany approve a tougher law as part of next year's budget to make it easier to shut down unlicensed shops. Marijuana consumers still have thousands of options in the state thanks to a huge black market of illicit stores, said the CCB member Jennifer Gilbert Jenkins. And in quotes, "We have all these illegal stores that need to be closed," she said. A key negotiator for the state Senate said Thursday a tougher padlock law will be part of an eventual accord on the budget, which was due on April 1st. There will be a big boost in enforcement, in quotes, with illegal shop closing options, Senate Finance Committee Chairwoman Liz Kruger, Democrat of Manhattan, told the Post. The state saw legalizing marijuana was approved back in March of 2021, but the rollout has been hampered by political and bureaucratic hurdles and lawsuits, to say the least. There was a delay in appointing members to the CCB and hiring of staff when former Governor Andrew Cuomo resigned amid a sexual misconduct scandal and was replaced by Governor Kathy Hochul. The first cannabis shop opened in December of 2022, but lawsuits, a backlog of applications for licensing dispensaries, difficulties with financing, and failure to stop the unchecked growth of illegal shops slowed growth, and farmers were left in the lurch with hundreds of pounds of flowered marijuana. They had no one to sell it to. And they're probably still selling it to you today, right now. But this is, what do you all have to say about this New York going on, trying to just showboat about the fact that they have 100 shops open? I think they're just gaslighting everybody. I don't know how much
of a puff piece you want to call it, because it's coming out of the New York Post, which is always railing on New York cannabis industry. The one thing that really irks me is when politicians get the stage, like Tremaine Wright. I have nothing against her or anything like that, but she said tipped the iceberg. Like, we haven't tipped the iceberg yet. That's not even a term. She just made that up. It's tip of the iceberg. Meaning there's more underneath. Like, you don't tip an iceberg. You crash into that shit and you die. What happened to the Titanic?
Yeah.
Are you saying that the New York cannabis industry is the Titanic and it is going to crash and burn and everybody's going to die? I thought it already had. The trap is going to rise. And that's what I got out of it. And I think that's why New York Post ran this story.
You think it's just because of that? Well, I mean, what do you think about this part, Rico? Them bringing back this padlock law. Sounds like they're going to try to
win those policies, man.
Sounds like they're going to try to lock people out of their property.
I mean, they're not locking. Yeah, I'm gonna take the bait right there.
You like that?
They're not locking the squatters out of the property. They're locking the owners out of properties. We're seeing that on live TV in New York too. New York has a lot of issues, and this cannabis, again, a Democrat state, not just Republicans. Yeah, you're trying to say, oh yeah, cannabis is going good, going bad. We're gonna put that on front page so we don't talk about our real issues.
Fair enough. Dr. Marshall.
To balance all the bad media out there talking about the failed program and all the, lawsuits and all the places you can buy unlicensed weed, all the hemp stuff, all the problems. So they needed something positive out there, right?
I mean, I guess
yeah,
so.
So I mean, shout out. I
just feel like they're gaslighting everybody.
Out to New York. Thank you, Elise. For bringing us back to the positivity. And shout out to New York for 100 strong. And I hope that these businesses do flourish.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we were supposed to be at 100 last February via Kathy Hochul's original assessment. But,
exactly.
it is what it is. It was what it was.
And based on the population, New York needs several thousand.
Yeah.
So they've got quite a ways to go.
Exactly. Dr. Mark's over there doing calculations, I see, formulations.
He's over there putting together formulas, formulations,
Professor.
calculations.
I think he just invented THCB.
Yeah, I mean, the wonderful thing about chemistry is, we go up to the whiteboard here and we draw new molecular structures all the time, and I get inspired to just draw a structure that I could then go out in my lab and actually make. So unlike astronomers study the stars, right? Geologists study rocks, right? Biologists study life. We study chemistry. So we make what we study. We have a very unique area of science. We could push around electrons on the board, but ultimately go down into the lab and make new things. It's cool.
Cooking shit up.
I love it.
Cooking it up.
Just don't make anything that causes cannabinoid hyperemesis syndrome.
No.
Yeah.
No, we won't. We won't do that.
Oh, he's curing CHS. You heard it here first. Dr. Mark Scialdone, Professor.
No, but I think one of the things we want to do
this morning.
Like all these things we're talking about safety issues. I mean, there's so many things that you could explore these days that are really important to legalization. And so I think one of the things we want to look at is we want to look at some of these minor things that are in these Delta-8 products that we don't know what their impact is on human safety. So one of the projects I'm working on is we're trying to figure out what's all in these synthetic mixtures that people are consuming. People are basically being guinea pigs for these products, and it's all due to prohibition. So if they had access to cannabis, they wouldn't need to be buying these products, and these products would be research curiosities for scientists like myself to go in the lab and try to figure out, what are they good for? And maybe the FDA process can take some of those compounds like HHC and TH acetate and all the other, cannabinoids, and actually study them to find out what they can do. Can they do something that cannabis can't do? Cannabis, THC, it covers a lot of ground, and certainly cannabis is a valuable medicine. I think Dr. Talleyrand would agree with me. But I would say that, these alternate cannabinoids could have therapeutic value, but years from now, after we've studied fully their safety and tox, and we really know what these things do in the body, and we're not just playing, guinea pigs with people who just want to get high.
Mm-hmm.
We love you, New York.
Yeah.